So yes, I found this guy on the interwebs. His name is Memeulous. Okay, and this is something that we need to talk about. It's about the Hawk Tuah girl. If you don't know who this girl is, you've been living under a rock, because it literally spammed the world for hours and for weeks and weeks and weeks. Oh my god, I am so tired of hearing about this woman. I have some opinions that I would like to express in the nicest way possible. So let's just have a watch, sit back, relax, tea, coffee, vapes, wall the jam, let's go.
Hawk Tuah.
You gotta put like an emphasis on it, like tuh. You know, like really. Yeah. Say it. All right, all together.
Hawk Tuah.
Hawk Tuah.
Wow, listening to this is a wonderful use of my day. Now, I've seen a lot of pointless podcasts that did not need to exist in my time. Like just a few weeks ago, we looked.
Okay, so in case you don't know, this lady has been offered a podcast deal for saying the words Hawk Tuah on the interwebs. Okay, just, well, yeah.
At that podcast that I can't even remember the name of off the top of my head. I think it was called like the Empowered Podcast or something.
When you come back, when you come back from work, you're tired, bro. You just want to go to bed.
I can't wait for holiday.
Sometimes I'm in bed and I'm like, bruv, I need to brush my teeth.
And that was pointless. But this just takes it to a whole new level. For those somehow unfamiliar with the hilarious viral sensation of Hawk Tuah, this is Hayley Welch. And she went viral a few months back for her response to an on-the-street interview by a channel called Tim and DTV.
What's one move in bed that makes a man go crazy every time?
Oh, you gotta give him that Hawk Tuah and spit on that thing. You get me?
There it is. Say the line.
Crazy every time.
Oh, you gotta give him that Hawk Tuah and spit on that thing. You get me?
Funniest shit I ever seen in my life. Incredible. This still makes me heartily belly laugh. And apparently the world did too, because she became very famous overnight for this. There was merch and everything. Let's have a look at some of it, because some of it is incredible.
She got a merch line. She got a freaking merch line. Just wait till you see some of this shit.
The Hawk Tuah 24 spit on that
come
fang.
on.
Brilliant. I'd wear that to my wedding. American flag Hawk Tuah. Eat, sleep, Hawk Tuah, repeat. Again, I would wear this to the birth of my first child. If she don't Hawk Tuah, I don't want to die.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's clever. That's clever, right?
I don't want to talk to her. This one's just grim. Like, it's just grim for some reason. She's also been making bank from public appearances, apparently charging up to $30,000.
What? Welch made her share of loot too. According to reports, she sold at least $65,000 worth of merch. $30,000 for appearances. It's enough to pay her for her horse food and dog food for the rest of their lives. Wow.
Per one. Well, that's my future child's first birthday party sorted, and I'll be stood there in the corner in my unofficial Hawk Tuah merch. But something I've not seen anyone talk about is how weird the actual interview was.
Okay, I got another one for y'all.
Okay, so this is actually the full interview. I don't think many people have seen this. Like, the full context of how this actually happened and what they were talking about.
Would you rather? Hold on, is she listening?
Would you rather?
Would you rather have back shots for the rest of your life or missionary for the rest of your life?
Hey, what are we doing here?
He said, would you rather have back shots or would you rather do missionary for the rest of your life? Okay.
Going up to girls outside a bar going, what's better, missionary or back shots? I'm not sure if this is like a normal thing to do in America, and I very much doubt it is. But if you did that in the UK, you get called a weird nonce and laughed at until you went away. And that isn't the only strange interview she's done. She did this one with...
Hold on, is she listening?
Would you rather?
Would you rather have back shots for the rest of your life or missionary for the rest of your life?
Okay, guys farming. Who is this made for? Clearly people are watching this guy.
Only strange interview she's done. She did this one with KIIS or KISS, I don't know how you pronounce that, an Australian radio station after she blew up, and it's fucking weird. I was trying to think of a more descriptive word for it, but the best way I could describe it is just fucking weird.
They all know who you are for such a funny little thing. Do you really Hawk Tuah, or were you just having a laugh there?
Bloody hell, man. Is that really the first question you
Oh,
have to
shit.
ask this 21-year-old girl? Do you actually Hawk Tuah? Man,
He wants to know. He wants to know, dude. This guy is thirsty. He is thirsty.
Come on.
I was just having a laugh there.
So you're not a spitter.
Brother, come on now. Come on. Surely you're better than this. He doesn't stop there. I think he catches himself being weird and like just stumble
Can you...
words.
Yes or no? Spit? No, it's fit.
What the fuck? Anyway, there was clearly a large demand for regular hour-long content with her, so she answered the prayers of the many and announced her podcast called Talk Tuah. It's like Hawk Tuah.
Talk Tuah with Haley Welsh. Really coining in on that word, right?
But you're talking.
I really hope he asks, how many times do you think this lady has said those 2 words, which aren't even real words? We need to just first of all establish here. Hawk Tuah isn't in the English dictionary. This woman is just saying these words, and somehow she is famous.
Wordplay.
I'm Haley Welch. A little while ago, my life took a complete left turn and it changed forever. And along the way, I've realized that everybody's entitled to their own opinion.
What does that even mean? Saying Hawk Tuah gave you a new insight and perspective on life that made you realise that everyone is entitled to their own opinion. Did you not realise that before? What? I think she's just saying stuff to me. Fair enough. But what are you trying to say this? I realised that everybody's entitled to their own opinion. How did this make you realise that?
Well, now it's my time to talk. Check out my podcast.
This is
every
my
week,
time to
Hawk
talk.
Tuah, where I'm sitting down with the
I mean, I
coolest
do
guests and having
I do love a southern accent. Don't get me wrong. What's up, my dude? Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it.
As you might be able to guess, is a betting site. And Jake, little piece of advice for you here. Keep funding this podcast. It is a very wise and shrewd decision. And this will no doubt...
Of course, the Paul brothers would sponsor something like this, right?
Earn you millions. Every week, people from all over the world will be waiting with gleeful anticipation for the next episode of Talk Tuah. Anyway, let's watch this episode because that's what this video is about.
Come on, Haley, it's not that bad. All right, it's time to get out of the bed and quit rotting.
Haley, get up. All right, I'm ready to talk.
Get in! Talk Tuah, us, Haley. Did you get it? It's the name of the podcast. It kind of sounds like Hawk Tuah, which is the phrase she said.
What is she?
Only intellectuals will understand this.
And I want you guys to get to know me better
What is she holding? What has she got in there? Oh my god, it's a picture of Matt Ruff.
than Hawk Tuah.
Ah, good
Good
thing you
God.
called your podcast Talk Tuah then, because people will surely forget about that with that sort of branding.
No, it's Tuah. Like, you really got to put your emphasis. Yeah, you're not saying Tuah, you're saying Tuah.
I mean, she's talking about sucking D. She's literally famous. If my daughter came home and was like, Dad, I'm famous on the internet, I'd be like, that's great, honey. What are you famous for? And she said, I like sucking D on the internet. I'm not so sure I would be proud of that. Power to her. She's made what seems like a lucrative living of saying 2 words on the internet.
Tuah.
How fucking sick of saying that phrase do you think she is?
There it
Hawk
is.
and Tuah have probably been half
There
the
it is.
words she said in the past 3 months.
Say the line.
Haley.
Hawk Tuah.
Now, this may come as a shock to you, but this podcast is kind of uneventful. I know. Who would have guessed that, eh? In fairness to her, her presenting ability isn't bad at all for someone who got thrown into this like 3 months ago, and this is her first ever podcast episode that she's hosting.
Sure.
And she seems a nice enough person, but there's not a lot of substance to the first episode, like, at all. There is really no reason for this podcast to exist.
Show
It
me.
just feels
I wanna
like
see
someone's
it.
Gone, she's quite popular. Let's just give her a podcast because it might do well and we might be able to get people into our betting site. But one of the most interesting things to happen on this podcast is she kind of alludes to Jake Paul being a bit of a dick.
Jake's pretty wild.
He's a little spooky to talk to.
Really?
That's like a man, you know.
And what are you noticing in the difference between being a fan of someone from afar and then meeting them? Like, is it what you expected?
He was exactly what I expected. Like, he lets on like he's an asshole, and that's what I like about him. He owns up to that shit. He knows it.
That's kind of big in the first 4 minutes
Okay,
of your
that's
first podcast
right, at
your
least-
boss is funding to just go, yeah, he's a bit of a shit. I respect it. I respect that massively. They then go on to talk about Botox for a bit, and it is astoundingly uninteresting.
I get a little myself. I call it Brotox when I do it. So when you start young, you're actually just getting rid of whatever wrinkles would pop up.
Well, yeah, but if you get all that shit done when you're young, by
mean-
the time you're 27,
Like, Botox is poison.
you look like a lizard and you
The
can't move
levels
your
of-
eyebrows.
the
This is
levels
just
of-
big cope in my opinion. Oh yeah, I get Botox. I get
There's a point I have at the end of this that I'm gonna mention that I want to add value to what this guy is saying, and we're gonna get to that in a second. Before I get to the speed modeling, we're gonna get there. But I need to finish this.
But it's just like, it prevents, my face from moving.
Here's the thing. Number one, if you're a girl and you get Botox, number one, you're going to attract pedophiles.
What the fuck are you even on about? If anything,
What?
I found that Botox makes...
What did she say?
Number one, if you're a girl and you get Botox, number one, you're going to attract pedophiles.
What the
You're gonna attract. Have you seen some people with Botox? I swear to God, it looks like that dude from The Mask 2, with his big cheekbones and shit. I'm not so sure that's true, girl.
What the fuck are you even on about? If anything, I found that Botox makes people actually look older.
Exactly.
They just look more smooth. Are we really that out of things to say already that we're at the point of going, yeah, anyone attracted to someone with Botox is a massive pedo? What are you talking about? What does that even mean? I feel like maybe this is a joke. I don't know. But it's not delivered like a joke.
But like, so that's something that is such a breath of fresh air about you.
It is.
You know?
I agree. So I'm going to be real with y'all. I was never the biggest football fan. I honestly don't even get the rules that much. But what I do know is I like having fun and winning money. And better picks let you win up to 1,000 times your money.
Yes. Punch your gambling websites. That sounds great. Okay? I'm assuming that's Logan Paul's influence.
App is super easy and it makes it 1,000 times more fun.
10 minutes into the first ever episode and we're already getting an uncharismatic ad brief for a betting site. Hell yeah, I wasn't familiar with your game, but the fact you're promoting such a service that allows people to make loads of money is very respectable. This will no doubt change lives for the better. We should be more thankful for betting sites and casinos, I think, because they're really out here just giving free money to people. It's so kind of them. They're basically charities.
Just imagine if Chelsea said Hawk Tuah and not you that night. Would Chelsea be sitting in that chair?
Okay, now these are the big questions I came to this podcast for. If her mate said Hawk Tuah instead of her, would she be the one sat in that chair?
Oh my
would
God.
she be the one with the 30 grand public
Hey,
appearances? Would she
what's
be
up,
the
my
one
bro?
with
You
the
okay,
Hawk
dude? Hope you
Tuah
had a good day.
This
Welcome
is
to
a
the chat.
philosophical question that people will asking and
Blown
studying
away
for
by this
centuries
shit.
to come. It's the modern if a tree falls and no one is there to hear it. Did it really fall? If Hayley Welsh's friend said Hawk Tuah instead of her, would she be hosting the Talk to Her podcast instead?
I can't do it.
Let's do it.
You do it. Hot to.
You gotta put like an emphasis on it, like tuh. You know, like really. Yeah. Say it. All right, all together.
Oh.
Hot tuh. Hot tuh. Say it aggressive, like
Hot
you really.
to.
Like you're mad at the day. You're mad at it.
You're mad at the D. Be mad. And girls wonder why they're being objectified. Can we just take the blinkers off for a second and just see what's really going on here? My God. I just want to add just a tiny bit of value here, okay? Where has our society gone that we glorify this or these kinds of people? There is nothing against her. She seems like a really cool girl, okay? This isn't about her or her liking to you know, seich on the peel in South African terminology, but why are we glorifying this kind of stuff? There's so much other content and people in the world that are doing some incredible things that are not being talked about. Why is this being thrown at us 24/7? Just like the brutal 2 weeks of the word demure. Holy shit! Why did I have to hear against my will about the word demure? For the love of God, what are we doing? I don't understand it, okay? There are kids inventing bacteria that eat plastic in the ocean. There are other people that are literally cleaning up the ocean with insane technology and innovation. Why aren't we talking about them? Why aren't we highlighting people who are making real change in the world? No, we want to talk about a girl who likes to spit on D's. Is this the progression our society has taken? If so, we are screwed, people. We are screwed. We are heading to a grim, dark future that is completely corporate driven. It's absolutely crazy. My God. Anyway.